She paid for first class fair and square, so why did they act like she didn't belong? Monica Traylor wasn't the type to brag. She worked hard, kept her head down, and believed that good things came to those who earned them. That's exactly why, after 15 years of late nights, endless court dates, and missed birthdays, she finally decided to treat herself to something she had never done before. A first-class flight from her home in Savannah, Georgia to Los Angeles, California. She wasn't just flying for business this time. It was her best friend's 50th birthday, and for once, Monica had cleared her schedule to actually live a little. The morning of the flight, she woke up early, way earlier than needed, because her nerves wouldn't let her sleep. Not because she was scared of flying. Monica had logged enough flight miles to circle the globe twice. No, this was different. It was that stubborn little voice in the back of her mind whispering, "Don't get too comfortable. Don't think you belong up there." She shook it off, chalking it up to overthinking. By the time she arrived at Savannah's Hilton Head International Airport, she looked every bit the part. Navy blue blazer, cream silk blouse, tailored jeans, leather tote bag slung over one shoulder. She even wore a tiny gold pin shaped like a gavel, a small nod to her years in the courtroom. As she checked in, the agent behind the counter barely glanced at her before printing her boarding pass. No smile, no small talk. Monica noticed it but let it slide. Maybe the woman was just having a rough morning. When she made her way through TSA, she got the extra pat down. Again, she stayed cool. It happens, she told herself. Don't make it a thing. But things started to stack up. In the first-class lounge, she sat at the bar nursing a coffee, while around her, other passengers chatted with bartenders, laughed with strangers, and got free refills without even asking. Monica, on the other hand, waited 20 minutes for someone to even notice she was there. She texted her friend, Kenya, half joking, half serious. "If they treat me like this in the lounge, I can't wait to see what happens on the plane." Kenya replied with 3 laughing emojis and a, "Girl, just enjoy it. You paid for it like everybody else." Monica smiled, slipped her phone back into her bag, and promised herself she would. She wasn't about to let a few small slights ruin her first big trip in years. When the boarding call finally rang out, first-class passengers now boarding, Monica stood up tall, took a deep breath, and walked to the gate with her head held high. She showed her boarding pass, waited for the scanner to beep, and with that little green light, she stepped onto the jet bridge. The plane door stood open, welcoming her into what was supposed to be the start of a new experience. But standing at the entrance was a flight attendant, tall, stern-looking, arms crossed. Monica offered her a bright, polite smile and held up her ticket. Instead of greeting her, the woman's eyes narrowed. She didn't even glance at the seat number. Instead, she took one slow look at Monica, head to toe, and said, "Are you sure you're in the right place, ma'am?" But what Monica didn't know yet was that this was only the beginning of a battle that would shake the entire airline to its core. Monica blinked, confused, thinking maybe she had misheard. She double-checked her ticket even though she already knew what it said. Seat 2A, first class, paid in full, confirmed twice. "Yes, I'm sure," Monica said, keeping her voice steady. "Here's my boarding pass." The flight attendant, her name tag said Shelley, took the ticket but didn't move aside. Instead, she gave Monica a tight, uncomfortable smile, the kind people give when they're trying to be polite but can't quite hide what they're thinking. "I'm sorry, ma'am," Shelley said, her voice high and brittle. "There must be a mistake. First class is full." Monica tilted her head. "Full," she repeated slowly. "But I have my assigned seat, 2A. Shelley looked around, almost like she was hoping someone else would swoop in and take over. Behind Monica, passengers were starting to bunch up on the jet bridge, impatient and shifting from foot to foot. Monica could feel the weight of their stares digging into her back. Another flight attendant, a younger woman with short red hair and a clipboard, walked over. She glanced at the boarding pass, then at Shelley. "What's the issue?" Shelley leaned in, whispering, but not quietly enough. Monica caught it. "I think she might be confused." Probably meant coach. Coach. The word hit Monica in the chest like a punch. Her face burned, not with embarrassment, but with something sharper. "I'm not confused," Monica said louder this time, making sure everyone around her could hear. "I purchased a first-class ticket. This is my seat." The younger attendant gave a quick, nervous laugh, the kind people make when they know something's wrong but don't want to make it worse. "Let me just check something real quick," she said, hurrying toward the front. Shelley stayed planted right where she was. Maybe you can just wait in the back until we sort it out, she said, not bothering to hide the impatience in her voice. We need to get everyone boarded. Monica raised an eyebrow. You want me to wait in coach for a first-class seat I already paid for? Shelley shrugged. It's just while we sort it out, ma'am. Monica inhaled slowly, feeling her heart thudding against her ribs. She wasn't going to raise her voice. She wasn't going to make a scene. She was going to make them uncomfortable in the best way possible, by refusing to back down. I'll wait, Monica said calmly, but I'll be waiting right here. Around her, the other first-class passengers glanced away awkwardly, pretending not to listen, though they were hanging on to every word. The crowd in the jet bridge grumbled louder now, people muttering about being late, some glaring at Monica like she was the problem. She stood tall, rooted like a tree, refusing to budge, and that's when she did something Shelley hadn't expected. Monica reached into her tote bag, pulled out her phone, and hit record, but as soon as that red recording light flashed, the energy around Monica changed, and it was clear the airline had no idea the storm they had just invited. Monica held her phone steady, making sure the screen caught everything. The flight attendant blocking her, the growing line behind her, the empty first-class cabin just a few steps away. She didn't say much at first. She didn't have to. The camera said enough. Shelley's whole posture changed the moment she noticed the recording. Her arms, once crossed firm over her chest, fell to her sides. She tried on a customer service smile, but it looked forced, like she was wearing a mask 2 sizes too small. Ma'am, there's really no need to record, Shelley said, voice dripping with fake sweetness. Monica didn't even blink. I like to have a record, she answered, calmly but loudly enough for everyone to hear, in case anyone accuses me of being confused again. A few of the passengers in line shifted uncomfortably. One man in a suit cleared his throat and stepped back, pretending to check his watch. A woman holding a crying baby gave Monica an encouraging nod. Not everyone was blind to what was happening. The younger flight attendant came back, this time with a man wearing a navy blazer and a security badge clipped to his belt. His name tag said Rick. Rick plastered on a tight smile as he approached. Good morning, ma'am. Let's step aside and have a quick chat, all right? Monica shook her head. No, thank you. I have my boarding pass. I have my seat. I'll board just like everyone else. Rick shifted uncomfortably. It'll just take a second. We can sort this out without causing a scene. Monica tilted her head slightly. Am I causing a scene, or are you embarrassed because I'm recording the way you're treating me? A few gasps rippled through the line. Someone whispered, She's right, under their breath. Rick glanced at the phone, realizing that everything he said was being captured, every uncomfortable pause, every shift in tone. He sighed and motioned to the younger attendant. Double-check her seat, please. The woman scurried off again while Monica remained where she was, rooted and unbothered. In her mind, she wasn't just standing up for herself anymore. She was standing for every time she, or someone like her, had been made to feel out of place for simply taking up space. Seconds felt like minutes. The line behind her grew restless, but Monica never moved an inch. The younger attendant returned, face pale. She whispered something into Rick's ear. He turned back to Monica, forcing another smile. Apologies, ma'am, he said. There was a system error. Your seat 2A is ready for you. Without another word, Monica stepped forward. Shelley didn't say anything as Monica passed. She didn't have to. The silence was loud enough. Monica found her seat, placed her tote bag underneath, and clicked her seatbelt into place, all while the camera still quietly recorded, tucked between her fingers. She posted the first clip before the flight took off. No hashtags, no angry caption, just a simple message. Paid for first class, treated like a criminal. Stay tuned. But Monica didn't realize how fast the world was about to rally behind her, and how quickly the airline would start scrambling to cover their tracks. By the time Monica's plane touched down at Los Angeles International Airport, her phone was on fire. Messages stacked up faster than she could open them. Friends, strangers, reporters, even a few celebrities she barely recognized. Her post had exploded. Thousands of shares, tens of thousands of comments. The video, grainy but clear, showing her standing there, calm, firm, polite, while being blocked from the seat she had paid for, had become a rallying cry. # let her. Sit trended by the time she collected her luggage. People flooded the airline's official pages demanding answers. Screenshots of angry customers canceling their flights went viral. As Monica walked through the airport toward her rideshare pickup, she felt eyes on her. Not hostile, like before, but curious, supportive. Two young women in USC sweatshirts rushed up to her, phones in hand. "Are you the lady from the plane?" one of them asked breathlessly. Monica smiled, tired but amused. "Depends," she said. "Good or bad?" They laughed. "Good, you're a hero. We saw everything. You kept your cool. You were amazing." Monica chuckled, but deep down, something tightened in her chest. She hadn't set out to be a hero. She just didn't want to be treated like she didn't belong. At her hotel, a mid-rise spot downtown, nothing fancy, Monica finally had a moment to breathe. She collapsed onto the bed, stared at the ceiling, and thought about how a quiet moment of standing her ground had turned into something so much bigger. Her phone rang. It was Kenya. "You okay?" her friend asked, voice warm and worried all at once. "I think so," Monica said, sitting up. "I didn't think it would get this big." Kenya laughed. "Girl, people are tired of pretending this stuff doesn't happen. You just showed it live and in color." Monica sighed, running a hand over her face. "I just wanted to sit in my seat." "And you will," Kenya said firmly. "And you're going to make them remember it too." Monica hung up feeling a little stronger. She scrolled through her messages, dozens of interview requests already lined up, and debated responding. But then another email popped up. Subject: urgent. Passenger relations inquiry. It was from the airline's corporate office. Monica opened it. The message was short, almost panicked. They wanted to discuss a possible resolution. They wanted to apologize for any inconvenience. They wanted to work toward a mutually satisfactory outcome. Monica leaned back against the pillows, her mind racing. They weren't reaching out because they cared. They were reaching out because the internet had their necks in a chokehold. Because every second her story stayed viral, they lost trust, money, and future passengers. She knew she had power now, real power, and she wasn't about to waste it. But Monica was smart enough to know that if they were reaching out this fast, they weren't offering an apology. They were trying to save themselves. The next morning, Monica sat by the window of her hotel room, sipping lukewarm coffee, when her phone buzzed again. Another email. Another urgent request from the airline's legal department. This time, they weren't asking, they were begging. The email was packed with words like sincere regret, unfortunate misunderstanding, and dedication to diversity and inclusion. It was the corporate version of groveling, polished and pressed, but Monica could see through it like glass. They didn't care that she had been humiliated. They cared that everyone had seen it happen. A few minutes later, her phone rang. Unknown number. Monica answered. A shaky voice introduced herself as Christine, Vice President of Customer Experience. "Miss Traylor, first, I want to personally apologize," Christine began. Her words were smooth, careful, each one chosen like she was diffusing a bomb. "We take these situations very seriously. We value all of our customers. We are prepared to offer a full refund, complimentary first-class flights for the next year, and a monetary settlement to demonstrate our commitment to making this right." Monica listened without interrupting. When Christine finished her speech, Monica spoke. Slow, measured, pointed. "I appreciate the apology," Monica said, her voice steady. "But this isn't just about me getting free flights. You had employees who saw a black woman in a blazer and thought she didn't belong. That's the problem you need to fix." Christine stumbled a little, her words faltering. Absolutely. We are initiating new training programs, revisiting our bias protocols, and..." Monica cut her off gently but firmly. "Good. Because I'm not just accepting your apology. I want a public statement. I want your employees held accountable. I want real change. And I want every dime you offered. Plus a donation to an organization that fights discrimination in travel and hospitality." There was a long silence on the other end. Then Christine exhaled heavily. "We can make that happen, Miss Traylor." Monica nodded to herself. "Good. Because if you don't, I have no problem letting this story grow bigger than you ever imagined." The call ended, and Monica sat there for a long moment, letting the quiet settle around her. It wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about embarrassment. It was about making sure no one else had to stand there, ticket in hand, being treated like they didn't belong. She picked up her phone again and typed a simple update for her followers. "An apology is a start. But real change is the goal. Stay tuned. But while Monica felt a small wave of peace, she knew the real work was only beginning, and she was ready to stand in the spotlight until the job was done. A week later, the airline issued a public apology, not a half-hearted statement buried at the bottom of their website, not a quiet update sent only to their newsletter subscribers. They held a press conference in Dallas, Texas, Monica's insistence, and the CEO himself stood at the podium. He apologized directly to Monica Traylor by name. He acknowledged the discrimination. He outlined the steps they were taking: mandatory retraining for all frontline staff, third-party oversight committees, public donation to organizations focused on racial equity in travel, and a direct commitment to revisiting how complaints were handled moving forward. It wasn't perfect. Monica knew no speech could erase what had happened, but it was a start. And this time, the whole world was watching. Monica didn't attend the press conference. She chose to spend that morning sitting outside a small cafe in Pasadena, sipping a proper hot coffee, finally breathing easier. The sky was wide open, clear blue. For once, she didn't feel like she had to brace for something to go wrong. Kenya called, as she always did. "You did it, girl," she said. Monica smiled, feeling the weight lift a little more. "No," she replied. "We did it. All of us who refuse to sit in the wrong seat even when they try to tell us we don't belong." Kenya laughed. "I need that on a t-shirt." Monica laughed too, but then she grew quiet, thoughtful. "It's not just about me, Kenya," she said. "It's about every kid who's going to grow up seeing this and thinking, I deserve to be there too. No one can block my way just because they don't like how I look." And with that, Monica knew. It wasn't about first class. It was about dignity. About standing your ground, even when it would be easier to step aside. About refusing to make yourself small so other people could stay comfortable. Monica picked up her phone and posted one last message to her followers. "Never let anyone question your right to be where you work to be. Your presence is not a mistake. Keep standing tall." Because sometimes the loudest victories come from simply refusing to move. And if you ever find yourself in Monica's shoes, remember, you don't need to fight with fists. Sometimes the strongest fight is standing your ground, calm and unshaken, and letting the truth speak for itself. If this story moved you, share it. Speak up when you see it happen, because the more we hold the line together, the harder it gets for injustice to hide.